I'm going to explain the tips and tricks and strategies of attempting questions in reading module in IELTS. There is a variety of questions in IELTS, as we have true false not given, we have matching questions, and it's about MCQs, multiple choice questions, sentence table or summary completion questions. So there are different types of questions, and these questions basically are done through different strategies, tips, successfully how you can attempt all questions correctly. It's important to know. So I'm going to explain you that how these different types of questions can be done successfully, effectively, so that you do all questions correct. As far as matching headings, so mostly students are supposed, the candidates are supposed to match headings with the paragraphs given, and the paragraphs there, mostly what students do, they read the paragraphs, but the best way of matching headings is skimming, that you just skim, know the main idea of the paragraph, and by knowing the main idea of a paragraph, you use elimination method. If there are 6 paragraphs and you have 9 headings, so there you actually see, narrow down your options and then see what is the most suitable option. You may be left with 2 or 3 choices which are very close, and then you are the judge, that you see the paragraph, see what is the most appropriate heading which goes with which paragraph. Okay, then there will be matching statements with the paragraphs. So there are the clues. Then how you can match statements with paragraphs successfully. There you underline the keywords and you find their synonyms in the text. That's the way to find the clue and the prompt and then match them correctly. As sometimes there are some theories given, concepts given, and theorists and the people who gave those ideas, you match those concepts and theories with theorists and with the concept givers. So what you would do, you would just read in detail their concept and then you match those theorists with their concepts and theories given. As far as true false not given, it's another typical question in IELTS reading, and you need to scan the text. You just scan the text, see what are the synonyms, what are the keywords there, and then you just match them. So scanning is the best strategy for doing true false and not given questions. Okay, and there also keywording and synonyms are important, that you just underline the keywords. And what are the keywords basically in IELTS? While you attempt questions, underline the keywords in the questions given. And what are the keywords? Keywords are mostly nouns and pronouns. Pronouns actually describe who are the participants, who are the actors, and verbs tell you about what's happening, what are the actions being done in the text. And then adjectives also play a vital role to tell you about actually different actions, about different happenings, and what is actually, for example, I tell you that if it is a word there, disease, right? So you don't know about in the text the word is disease, what type of disease, but if it is like a fatal disease, then it means that it's a deadly disease, right? So adjective give you very clear picture. And same way, if it's the word given there, earthquake, you don't know what type of earthquake that was. So if it is catastrophic earthquake, then you understand that it was a catastrophic earthquake. Okay, so in true false not given questions, scanning is important, that you scan the text and then you actually find the answers. And then another typical question in the reading extract in the passages is based on MCQs, multiple choice questions. So what's the best strategy for doing MCQs? Like you scan the text and you find synonyms and you just narrow down your options. One option is not very close, so you just see what is the closest option with the help of skimming, because some questions are based on reasoning, on critical thinking. So you just find there's no direct clue, there's no direct prompt, so you would see what's the opinion. And how you would know that? by knowing the main idea, by knowing the topic sentence, locating the topic sentence, then you're able to do such questions. But mostly scanning is very effective for doing MCQs. And then short question answers that are given at the end of text. You're quite familiar with these type of questions, that there are short questions given, you find their answers. And you know that in IELTS we have in short question answers, you're not supposed to write more than 3 words. Mostly it's given that your answer should be within 2 words, or your answer must not be more than 2 words, okay, as the directions given. So these are very short answers, need to be very accurate, right? As you need even to be accurate in the use of singulars and plurals. Check them, that whether you have written the correct word. Even if you make a singular a plural, then even that may be the wrong answer, okay? And then as far as these short question answers, scan the text, and you can attempt them easily, finding with the help of keywords and synonyms. And as far as another type of question is sentence completion or summary completion. Or table completion even is given in IELTS reading. And these type of questions you need to skim, because the concepts are given. It's not the exact summary, exact lines or words taken from the passage and given in the question. No, basically this is the concept, which may not be exactly given in the text as it is given in the question. So what you would do, you would see what are the collocating words, which words collocate together, which words often come together, as there is some test for that, before noun mostly an adjective comes, okay, and before a main verb mostly there are linking verbs, helping verbs which come before the main verb. Same way, see what word is missing. If noun is missing, or subject is missing, or verb is missing in the gap, then most likely that would be the right answer. You see from the box, and if it's not in the box, if you have to just see from the text, because that all summary or sentence or table completion is in the background of the reading text given. So need to be very critical about it, and narrow down your options, and then look at the headings and first sentences of paragraphs given, because for doing matching questions, for MCQs, and sometimes for those questions, short question answers even, they ask about the writer opinion, they ask about what do you think, then there you need to infer, because inferring is also an important skill, that what you infer from the passage, what opinion you form, what understanding you form from that passage, and what you develop as your understanding from the passage, and how you're able to answer those questions, right? And then at the end, take 5 minutes to review your answers, so that those 5 minutes you can see some errors. If there are some errors, make sure that you have written answers in the proper slot of the answer sheet of reading provided to you, okay? And these are some tips and tricks for attempting IELTS reading questions successfully. And practice and see where you have issues, what are your weaknesses, and how you can overcome them, and what tips and tricks will help you actually to do reading questions successfully, okay? So these were some typical type of questions which I've explained to you, and which are given in IELTS reading. And the strategies are very important to implement, and you just practice. There's no shortcut for doing IELTS. You need to practice a lot, practice many tests, and then you would be able to get high bands in IELTS reading. Thank you very much. And with this, I finish my lesson on IELTS reading tips for attempting questions successfully.